Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kiran. So in today's video, I am sharing some of the unbelievable health benefits of Dmso. And in the past few months, I feel this is one of the most important videos I've made because in my life, Dmso has been an absolute blessing. So I'm really excited and looking forward to sharing this information with you. But first, a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a chemist, and I don't want to play one on internet. And everything that I'm sharing in this video comes from my research and my personal experience. So with everything I share, please always do your own research. If you feel you need to check in with your doctor before taking this health supplement, by all means do so. Because again, the idea is that you do your due diligence, and then if you feel that this is in resonance, this is something that you would like to give it a shot, then of course, by all means do so. Aside from that, in the description below, I've put timestamps for the video. So if you would like to skip forward to a few sections, then you can do so. So last December, I started having itching around the back of my neck and the back of my head. And at first, I didn't pay much attention. I thought it would probably clear up in 2 to 3 days. But when it didn't and actually started getting worse, I kind of panicked. And I tried out every single natural remedy that I could think of. But nothing helped. And then I remembered I'd read somewhere that Dmso is excellent for healing skin infection and inflammation. And since I had Dmso at home, I thought, oh, let me give this a shot. So I took a little bit of Dmso and I mixed it with coconut oil and I started applying it on the inflamed area. The next thing you know, in 2 to 3 days, the inflammation cleared up, itching cleared up, and to say I was impressed would be an understatement. And I was so intrigued with this non-toxic natural healer that I was like, I need to learn every single thing about it. And that's when I went into my full-on research mode. Now, in case you are hearing about Dmso for the first time, then Dmso is dimethyl sulfoxide. It is a byproduct of papermaking, and it comes from a substance found in wood. What makes Dmso so special is that it has antimicrobial properties, it reduces inflammation, it helps in detoxifying metals from our body, it calms the nervous system, it's an effective painkiller, and so much more. Ideally, we should be getting sulfur from food such as garlic, onion, spinach, and eggs. And while we do, but because our soil is so depleted, we usually don't get the required amount from these foods unless we eat lots of it. And this is where taking Dmso, even few drops, can go a long way. Now, early in my research, one of the things I did was I ordered this book called Healing with Dmso by Amanda Walmer. And I'll put a link to this book in the description below. Now, the author of this book, Amanda, she has an excellent YouTube channel. She has a website with tons of great information. Again, I'll put a link to all of those in the description below, so feel free to check those out. Now, this book is a fairly quick read, and one of the things I really liked about it, that it's written with non-technical language so that every single person can understand it. And this book, it gives you a comprehensive overview of history of Dmso, as in how Dmso came into being, precautions you need to follow when using Dmso, how to test if you are allergic to Dmso, how to use Dmso for ailments like aches and pains, burns, mental health, head trauma, cavities, and there is so much more. Now, it also includes DIY recipes, and this book will also tell you how to use Dmso for your pets and for cancer protocol. Now, I have been referring to this book for the past 3 months, and I honestly can't recommend it enough. Now, one of the things that got me really interested in Dmso is that it's one of the best sulfur supplements. And really, when you understand why sulfur is so important for the body and what it does in our body, I think that's when you truly start to appreciate the magic of Dmso. And especially if you want to advance in your meditation practice, then sulfur or Dmso is not only going to help you at a physical level, but also at a spiritual level. Like ever since I started taking Dmso regularly, I have noticed a distinct shift in my meditation practice. Now, the way I like to take Dmso is that I take half a cup of water and I add about 10 to 15 drops in it. And I take it first thing in the morning on empty stomach. And then I don't eat any food for next 30 minutes or so. Now, when you drink this mixture, it will taste like garlic in your mouth. Similarly, if you put few drops of Dmso on your hand or any other part of your body, you will taste garlic in your mouth. And that's because just like magnesium, Dmso passes through the cell membrane rather quickly. So I found about Dmso about 3 years ago. At that time, I had hurt my knee. I was doing aerial yoga. Next thing you know, I lost my balance and I came crashing down. And around that time, one of my friends said, she recommended Dmso. She said the sulfur in it will reduce the inflammation. Now, at that time, I was doing so many different things to help my knee that I didn't pay as much attention or even research about Dmso. This is until one of my friends who is spiritually quite advanced started talking about Dmso. And then I was like, okay, I really need to pay attention here. And some of the things that she shared from her research were that, number one, Dmso, as in sulfur, it speeds up the spiritual transformation process. It is super effective against parasites, and sulfur also harmonizes the body. As in, our body has different layers: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And what Dmso does is that it acts like a glue between these different layers of the energy body. So with everything that I was learning about Dmso, I thought to myself, well, let me do a 30-day experiment and see what comes of it. Now, during the experiment, I didn't take Dmso every single day because it does have a detoxifying effect. Like, there were days when I was bloated and tired, and on those days I skipped Dmso because I knew I needed to give time to my body to detoxify. So one of the first shifts that I noted right off the bat was that in my meditation practice, I felt I was becoming a lot more integrated and focused. So that was quite a pleasant shift. Now, I also made a hairspray from Dmso, and the recipe of that you will find in this book. And I applied that spray for about a week or so. And after 2 weeks, what I noticed was that my hair felt a lot more thicker and much more strong. And also when I washed my hair, there was barely any shedding. Now, Dmso also helps in healing burn scars. So last year I was using a hand steamer to iron my clothes, and the next thing you know is that I pointed that steam nozzle towards my thigh. So ever since I started taking Dmso, I noticed that the scar that I had from this incident has slowly started fading away. Now, about a month ago, I noticed some inflammation around my gums. Again, I sprayed 90% Dmso solution, and in about 2 days, the inflammation cleared up. Next, one of my aunts had an excellent healing with Dmso. So she had these wounds for quite a while, and all I did was applied Dmso and coconut oil. This is a picture from last December. I started applying Dmso and coconut solution to her wound like end of December. Do you notice the redness around this wound? And now this is a picture that I took after 6 weeks. So as you can see, Dmso took down the inflammation. Some of the testimonials that I received from my friends is, number one of my friends used it as an eye solution. Again, the recipe of it you will find in this book. And she said that she has been using it regularly and it has helped her. So another friend of mine, her mom recently got surgery done, and she shared with me that her mom has been using Dmso to get rid of surgery scars, and she has been getting excellent results. Now, when you search for Dmso on Amazon, one of the things you will find is this. And I'll put a link to this solution in the description below. And the other thing you will also find is Dmso creams. And these are especially effective for healing any inflammation or pain. These creams you can also make at home. Again, the recipes you will find in this book, Healing with Dmso. So in my personal experience, I have used Dmso internally as a hairspray for reducing inflammation, and also in hand creams, and I have gotten excellent results from all of them. Now, since ending my 30-day experiment, I have been taking Dmso about 2 to 3 times a week, and that has worked well. And even if you don't want to take Dmso internally, I would highly recommend having this tool, having this supplement in your first aid kit. I hope these suggestions were helpful. As always, please only take what resonates, discard the rest. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.